Alright, and hey there, Prox Gaming Crew, and this is Proxify here, and we're back for some more of the Paper Mario the Thousand Year Door on the Nintendo Switch. And if you did miss out there on the last one, well, we just want to complete off with Hooktail, and now we're starting to move off into the other two character stories, which that is going to be with Princess Peach and Bowser. Now, we're just going to be only learning about their beginnings right now at this moment in time, but later on, once we do go and complete off with Mario's main chapter, we will be seeing the other character stories that will happen later on, but we'll get more into that while the time does happen. I don't really want to go and spoil off with too much amount of things because there's some pretty cool, exciting things that do happen throughout both of their two storylines that do happen with Princess Peach and Bowser throughout our time. Now, within these two videos for today, not only are we just going to be doing out here with, of course, Paper Mario the Thousand Year Door, but we are going to be moving on into some more of Yokai Watch 3. Now, there's not really too many other episodes left of Yokai Watch 3 because currently right now, since we already went and finished off with most of everything that I wanted to go and do within our way of the Mystery Dungeon location of like the Colvin Continent and doing some other boss battles and other things that were showing up from there and learning some other different tutorials, we're now going to go and head back to the regular type of part of the post game right now, and we're going to have to do a S ranking challenge that will be showing up, and hopefully we at least can be able to complete that off and move off into the next episode for there, so that then we can go and do some other things as well. Now, I want to say that during our way here is that once we actually do go and complete off with both the two chapters of Princess Peach and Bowser, we will be able to come back as Mario, and there is some things that I do want to go and do before we actually do start reaching off into our way of the next area, which that of course is going to be with Boggly Woods, since we are going to be knowing a little bit about that here within our time, since Grodus already brought that up right now. But yes, Boggly Woods is one of the most annoying areas for me personally. I do not really like this area at all, to be personally honest with you, because if you guys remember before when I went and did this series on the original GameCube that I went and did before, this part gets really annoying, is that once you do go and start reaching off into where the punies are going to be, you have to babysit, I think, at least like 101 punies, I think, or 100 punies, and if you do start losing track of them, you will have to go and try to like research for them and then try to bring them back into your party, and oh boy, it gets really hectic. And then not only that, but then you also have like those annoying type of mosquitoes or something like that, of like those type of enemies, and they have to do like different battles with them inside the actual tree itself, which that can also be problematic because there is sometimes where you do actually lose within that fight if you're not too careful, and then you will have to like restart again. But most of the times, I think like 90% of the time, you should at least be able to clear it like no problem. But there is always that like that little bit of the different type of percentage where you will be able to run into a situation where you are going to potentially lose that there. But yeah, I'm just glad that once we are said and done here with Chapter 2, we don't ever have to really go and have to ever really go out of our way to worry about this chapter anymore. The only one good thing that only comes out of this whole entire chapter is meeting up with the Shadow Sirens, and then not only that, but of course meeting up with the well, of course with Flurry, right? Because Flurry is our next other character that is going to happen from out here. Now, if you guys do recall, since we do have now with the Slim ability that will be happening, we can actually go and do some other things within the 1,000-year door, because there is going to be another extra shine sprite that we can actually go and pick up. And I want to say that for the next episode, we will go and meet up with Merlin and boost up on one of our characters so that we can at least get a brand new power-up along with it our way. So I think during the time that when I'm going through like the main story and everything, I'll try and search for some shine sprites, and if I can at least get myself with a set of 3 of them, then I'll try to like boost up my characters along the way within the story, because I don't think I ever done that before. I think within the original series that I did, because normally I always kind of left that till like the end of like the episode, and then you guys got to see like all the different moves that happen within our way of like the last chapter. But I think I'm going to do it here while we just go and just do it continuously. So this is Tech. This is the perfect computer, the man that knows everything. This is basically the same type of computer that, or the same type of robot that you would kind of see like in Space Odyssey, or I think that's what it is, right? Like HAL 2000. And this is basically like the HAL 2000 out here for this one. Now, for what Tech is all about is that he is missing one piece of his body or something that's going on within his computer system, and that is going to be something to deal with the emotion of love. And I guess for some reason, Tech has some sort of some sort of hard-on, I guess, on Peach here at this point in time, and Peach kind of gets a little bit weirded out with why that tech is in love with Peach out here. But we'll be seeing more of that when time goes on. For right now, it's just that currently at this moment in time, this is just kind of like just a talking point between the two. But later on, I think there will be like another sub segment that will happen later, where I think she's gonna have to do like some sort of like dancing sequence or something like that with her later. So we're gonna have to see that when that does happen. Now, I did go and check out on some movies a little bit recently. They are like old movies because like currently right now I don't really have anything too much going on to like watch for like other different things. But I did go and watch a movie known as like Donnie Darko, which that's like a really old school movie that has like a very young Jake Gyllenhaal, which I have to say that was a really good movie, to be honest with you. I'm not really too like fond on psycho thrillers all that too much, but unless if like the psycho thriller is like really really good, like somewhat of like a Saw type of thing, then I think I'll really enjoy it. And Donnie Darko is not really in the type of way of like Saw, but it does have like a nice good feel for what the psycho thriller is all about. So now we're gonna have to go and do this one thing for tech, but apparently he said that like if we go and help him out, we could actually do all these type of like I guess he'll give us like a reward or something, and that basically for that reward is that we could actually use Peach here to go and do different email things with Mario that'll be happening later on, so that we could be able to pass along with different messages to Mario from there. And that's what's gonna be happening right now, actually. So there we go. So now that's going to be the first of many of the emails getting sent to Mario. Now I will be editing out on like most of the things that will be happening throughout our way when we go and play as Mario again, because like there's a lot of like backtracking things that we're going to have to go and do, and I'm not going to show you guys all that amount of stuff that does happen, because this episode would have been a little bit longer than normal, but I'm glad that it's like somewhere around within like 20 minutes, because I didn't want to make it like absolutely long. Like, I think 20 minutes, I think for me personally, for doing a solo recording, I think is like the best type of time, or a little bit like around like 25 minutes, but I don't really want to go like any more longer than that. Alright, so here we are all the way back here at the Bowser's Castle now, and now we get to see the man himself finally make his arrival here. Yes, here he is, the mighty King Koopa. Now, there are some pretty funny segments here if you do want to go and talk to some of the Hammer Bros that are kind of chilling around. Like the two that are basically conversing with each other. There's some funny moments that do happen around within that. And let's go and see what these guys are all about. Oh man, this guy is trying to do some gossip talking behind Bowser's back here. I don't think that would be a good idea. Yeah, you don't want to get yourself burnt to a crisp out there, Mr. Hammer Bro. And by the way, if this is your first time actually playing through Paper Mario and the 1,000-Year Door, well, we are going to be seeing that Cammy Koopa is going to be making a return that is going to be showing up. It's always good to see Cammy. It's too bad that she wasn't really in the rest of the other games. I don't think so, right? Because it was more so later on, it was just more of like having Kamek around. Which we will be seeing a little bit of a small little mini cameo. A very little mini cameo out here with us having to go and see where Kamek is going to be. I think that was kind of like what happened before when it was like in Paper Mario 64. Kind of has like a little hidden cameo with Kamek that's going to show up. So it seems like Bowser's also interested in the same type of crystal stars as we are. So seems like kind of everything is like falling into one type of pattern, right? Because like right now, like on Princess Peach's side, Grodus wants to go after the crystal stars. We're trying to go after the crystal stars. And then now all of a sudden, Cammy's bringing up with the crystal stars over here to Bowser. So now everybody's going to try and go after it. It's basically like the One Piece at this point in time, you know? Well, except that Goldie Roger's not actually in this game, but everybody's trying to go after all these crystal stars at this point in time. Speaking about, I don't know if you guys have just went and heard recently, but I just heard something that was really stupid from one of the gaming companies that is making a new game currently, and that is Ubisoft. And Ubisoft is making like this game known as Shadows. What's it, like Assassin's Creed Shadows, which I don't really ever go and play the Assassin's Creed games all that too much. I basically stopped after like Black Flag, and I never really touched another Assassin's Creed game ever again. I may probably play Origins one day, because I know that people have said that that game is like one of the best of the many of games as well too for the Assassin's Creed like type of games that actually do happen. But either way, apparently from what I just heard is that I guess there was like an expo or something that was going on within Ubisoft, and they were like showing off all the different like equipment and other things that were happening for like what the game is like all about. And I know there's like other different controversies that's going on within the game, and I don't really want to bring any of that other type of stuff up. But the one thing that really caught my eye was that during this type of expo or something, somebody on Twitter went and posted out something that the sword is actually not their own unique sword. It's actually a sword that's basically off of One Piece that was from Ruinor Zoro, of all things. So like, I don't understand that. It's like I think something tells me is that I think like Ubisoft is like somewhat a little bit like lazy in some ways. Because, like, don't you want to, like, make something that's, like, more unique or something that's more, like, based within your own game instead of, like, having to go and literally buy something and then literally buy it off of Amazon and then literally just say that that's what you went out of your way to create? That doesn't really make any sense to me. But let me know what your guys' thoughts are about that if you guys have heard about that, because that was just really dumb. But let me just say, I if Oda or if Toei Animations ever heard anything of that type of nature that was going on for what Ubisoft was doing, and then like literally presenting that as their own, even though that's like basically the original creator and also Toei Animations type of stuff, oh yeah, they would probably go and show up in no time to give them a nice good old like suing type of thing that's gonna happen there. But yeah, so now we're getting something over here from Princess Peach right now from the email that we went and just sent off out here so far. So now what's going to happen here is that now we can go and finally return back on over towards to the 1,000-year door. But there is some other different things that I do want to go and make sure, and that is of course doing one of this, and that is for right now, that since we just went and did another little battle, gonna be leveling up over here. And for this important thing that we're all going to have to worry about is that we do want to reach all the way up to level 20 or HP 20 for right now for what's going on. Because we want to have at least like 20 HP for right now, because there's going to be a said battle where we are going to have to battle out with somebody that will actually do have 20 HP, which I don't think you really want to go about with this guy. Even if you have like very low amount of like HP, because this dude hits you pretty hard, and I want to say he hits you for at least around like 3 damage, and I don't think you would probably ever live through all of that. But there we go, and we got ourselves with the Happy Heart badge. Pretty nice right there. Unfortunately, we don't really have any more other extra type of badge, type of other things to go and use it for, but we'll have to hold that off right now. But here is our bro Luigi. Now, I believe he will make his appearance after once you're done with the said chapter, I think. I don't know if we could actually be able to go and meet him at the very beginning of the game, but now, since we already could go and talk to him, he'll go and let us know about all the different experiences that he's going on within his own side of the game. I believe there's like different books that you could also go and buy as well too from him. I don't know if the Switch actually has those type of books just like the GameCube does, but we'll have to see that. But I'm not going to really go into like too much detail with Luigi, but basically if you do want to go and read all of that type of stuff from him and learn more lore about on his side, you can go and feel free to do so. It's very long with some of the different like stories that he does go and talk about, but yeah, for right now we're just going to worry about having to go and talk it over here to Gus. Yeah, the Gus, this guy, the man that literally likes to block our way right now. There's going to be two different characters that are actually going to be blocking our way currently. One is going to be with this guy here that does have the 20 HP that we have to worry about battling. And then the other one is, of course, going to be with the Toad that actually likes to do a lot of the cooking stuff. But she's going to be out looking around for something that we're going to have to go and possibly have to go out of our way to buy later. So after a little bit of time of doing some battling, Gus is already down and out, and he is finished. But we do get ourselves a little bit of some nice good start points right from there, so very handy. Alright, and just like that, Gus is already down and out. And now we can go and do some other little exploration. Now, we can't really go and do too much around over here except for us going and finding a star piece. So if you do want to go and do that, you can go ahead for. Now, also, too, the baffle board is going to be here. The trouble center will now be accessed to us here. Now, we're not going to really worry about anything here of the baffle board at this current moment in time. But later on, when we start heading into, I want to say around in the chapter 4 destination, I think somewhere around within there, then that's when we'll go and interact with the Miss Mouse trouble center thing. Because for right now, we don't really have anything that has question mark right now. So we're going to have to wait until that actually does show up a little bit later. Now, I think there is some baffle board ones. If I could be wrong, I don't know if this is something that does happen in the original game or not, but somebody can correct me on this. I think with the Paper Mario 64 characters, I think there is trouble center things that happen with them, but I could be wrong on that. Because in this game of the Thousand Year Door, there is cameo appearances where you do actually go and meet up with like Goombario and Boo and like or no, her name's not Boo, or I forget what her name is. I think her name is like Bay or something. I forget what her name is. It's been a little bit of some time. But then you also of course got like Cooper as well too. Like you will be able to go and meet up with all the 64 characters that will actually show up. But I'm pretty sure I want to say that they have like their own specialty type of baffle board situations, I think, with them. But I could be wrong on that. Alright, so yeah, so unfortunately, if you guys just saw right there, we just went and squished on somebody's contact lens, so now we have to wait until that actually happens. Alright, but here we are currently right now. We're going to be moving off into this way. Back over here to the 1,000-year door. And before we actually go and worry about it, we're going to do our little flying airplane mechanic over here and use our slim powers to now go and bounce all the way up here to this side and be able to pick up with the third of many of the Shy Sprites. And what I'm going to go and do is actually use that Shy Sprite, I'm going to say, for the 3 that we actually do have. And I think I'm going to go and give that over to Coops, I think for right now, just because I want to say his 2 other different specialty moves that actually happen are actually not too bad. So we'll go and use that throughout our way. Alright, so here we go. Let's throw down that crystal star and let's go and get one of the accessing spots already opened up here to us. Because we should at least be able to see that that the store, well, one of these stars are now going to be placed on into the 1,000-year door for right now. But yeah, we're still missing a little bit more. Alright, so now with this map over here, we should now at least be able to figure out exactly where we're going to be needing to head off into. And I already kind of brought this up already. So the Buckley Woods is now finally accessible right on over here. And that big huge tree right there, that's going to be leading right on into that destination of ours for the dungeon that we're going to have to walk on into. But they also do have Flurry's house, which we will have to go and access as well. Alright, and there we go. It's just like that. Now we can go and kind of take a little bit of a look-see at it for right now. But if we do need any more type of lore, well, the one person that we need to go and speak to is going to be, of course, is going to be over at Professor Frankly's place. So we are going to have to go and check that out. So let's meet him up for one more time here. Oh, now one thing that you may possibly also want to go and do is that if you ever do go and miss out on anything like throughout your way of like the past chapters, and if you didn't want to go and use the tattling situation within the way of using Goombella, well, just right behind Coops here, there is this trash can. Now, if you are lucky enough, you can actually go and pick up with the other different enemies that you never really went out your way to tattle with, and you could go and pick them up right from that said trash can there. And you can always do that, I think, every type of time, I think, at the end of the different chapters that happen when you go and talk back to Frankly. So if you ever do want to go and try to complete off your way of the different bestiary type of stuff or enemy area type of things, there you go. See you guys then, and of course, peace.